Alright friends, it's Tina back with another video, and I'm going to respond to a response by Fit at 60. He did a video, I asked him a question, now he's responding. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Tom? I read Tom somewhere on the internet. Yeah. Okay. Oh, what's up? Nah, kidding mate. Joking mate, joking. You asked me to explain something to you.
I did, yes.
How does the concentric aspect build muscle?
That's right. You wrote something. I'm not going to answer the whole thing. The rest wasn't really important. I latched onto that. Yeah. You said eccentric exercise builds muscle. I want to know how a concentric exercise builds muscle. I want you to explain to me in this video how a concentric movement by just waving your arm up in the air is going to magically build the muscle. That's what you said.
Yeah, that's form check.
I don't understand. So are you showing your are you showing your aesthetic physique? Because I see an aesthetic. I see a low body. I see you have low body fat. Your body fat is similarly low, which is not bad for your age. Yeah. But that's all I see. I don't really see like a massive physique there. I'd have to take your measurements to see how tall you are and see how much you weigh on the scale to know if you ever built any muscle. Maybe you built nothing. This is the way you've always looked your whole life. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, pretty much same. Same as ever. Seem to have.
Look, everybody looks great on camera when they have low body fat. That doesn't mean that they built a physique because they have low body fat. That's like the reverse of what you're trying to accomplish. Well, I have low body fat, so I must have muscle. Not necessarily. But anyways, okay, I want to know what builds muscle. You said concentric builds muscle. Explain it to us.
Lost a lot of the bloat that came with the massive carb up, which I enjoyed knowing. It was a lovely carb up. Oh, it was colossal. Yeah? But back to reality. Back to the meat, fish and eggs for a week at least. Well, until Friday.
I see a lot of guys with a physique similar to yours. Like Blaha has a physique similar to yours. But I've never seen anybody at my age with a physique that is similar to mine. You understand the difference? Yeah.
Friday's going to be my carb up day. Okay, so Tom, is it Tom? I don't know if it's Tom or not. But Master T, genetic beast, however you like to be called. How does the concentric build muscle? Well, for those who don't know, if I was doing a curl, let's say, 1 second, give me a second, get my...
Yes, a demonstration, please.
Get my natural prop. Okay, I know we're all fans of the natural here. We like the natural.
Yes, the eau de natural prop, okay. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I've got to zap it now, get some focus on the bit. Focus, that's better. You can see that's better. Okay, so natural, completely natural, like me, 100% natural in this advanced decadent capitalist society, which is going to come to an end much sooner than most of you imagine. Okay, so the concentric is that. The muscle shortened.
Yes, that's a concentric movement. But you were supposed to tell me how concentric, you said concentric builds muscles. I want to know how it builds a muscle.
And the eccentric, or the negative, is that. So
yes, we know that motion. The lengthening effect will cause damage to the myofibula. The lengthening effect will cause some damage to a myofibula. It could cause damage. It may not cause damage, but it could. So we know that eccentric does not build muscles, it damages muscles. But you said the concentric movement builds a muscle. I want to know what kind of muscle and how it builds it. Please tell us.
So if you're doing some sort of press, that would be the concentric, and that would be the eccentric, etc., etc., etc. I'm sure you get the point.
It would be, but your first movement there is concentric. Okay, but whatever. I want to know how it builds a muscle.
So how does it work? How does it work that, you know, according to your scientific literature, which is, I think is 100% true, that the eccentric causes the muscle damage, okay?
You're just figuring that out now? It's 100% true that the concentric causes the eccentric causes muscle damage? Yeah, we know that. But it's not look, oh man. You're doing movements that are focused more on the concentric than the eccentric. You'd have to do the opposite of that. But I guess you can't visualize that. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. You said concentric builds muscle. How does it build a muscle? Please tell me. How long do I have to wait here for? This video is 6 minutes.
Well, I said that. The eccentric causes the muscle damage. Okay.
Yeah, the eccentric causes muscle damage. Don't get it confused. Okay.
But you're making you're jumping to the conclusion that the muscle damage...
I'm not making any conclusion. You told me you were going to explain how concentric exercises build muscles. They build a muscle.
Is what drives the hypertrophy.
I didn't say that at all. Muscle damage does not drive hypertrophy. It damages muscles. Listen to me. I got to tell you one more time. Eccentric exercise damages muscle fibers. It doesn't do anything. It damages it. What drives hypertrophy is food. Food drives hypertrophy. Get it, man?
You know, whatever you call it, hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is not going to come...
Hypertrophy just means something's getting bigger. But in the eccentric exercise, you get 2 in 1. You get hyperplasia, hypertrophy, okay? You get more myofibrils, and you get growth, and you get mass, and everything else on top of it, okay? Progenitors, this, that, myotubes, some nuclei, yada, yada, yada.
Simply in a sarcoplasmic form or a myofibrillar form. It's going to come in both.
Well, there's 2 types of hypertrophies. There's myofibrillar and there's sarcoplasmic. Yes, one is artificial and one is real. Yes, we know that. Okay, and?
And the myofibrillar is going to vastly outweigh the sarcoplasmic, whatever you do.
The myofibrillar is going to vastly outweigh the sarcoplasmic? Not necessarily. If you're, and it's not. It's really hard to build myofibrillars. If you're focused on trying to get myofibrillars, and that is your training is geared towards that, then yeah, most likely yes, it would be. But if you're eating a lot of glycogen and you're coming in and you're not causing damage and you're just pumping, you're getting what they call the pump. The pump is associated a lot. Look, you could get damage and get a pump, okay? If that's your focus to get that type of damage, and you're eating carbohydrates, you may get a pump and damage. But if you're just getting the pump, but you're not getting the association damage, the pain, and their painful restrictions, and the reduced force capacities, and the DOMs, and all this weird stuff that comes along with muscle damage, if you are not getting that, then you are not getting damage if you're just getting a pump, okay? And that's sarcoplasmic. But you have yet to tell me how a concentric exercise builds muscle out of thin air, bro. Get it?
So to say that, you know, I don't know, some huge roider is sarcoplasmic, no, not really. You know, it might be 15, 16, 17% of his muscles might be sarcoplasm. And that's it.
No, it's not. I've done sarcoplasmic training on my channel before, my old channel, and I produced videos of it. And within 4 weeks, within 5 weeks, of working out once a week and eating bowls of potatoes in my home every single day till my next workout session, I was able to put on over 20 pounds of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I looked massive, bro. Get it? Just eating potatoes. I didn't even eat protein. I didn't eat no vegetables, no fruits. I ate bowls and bowls of potatoes, bro. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding.
Okay, anyway, so back to the point. The fact is that, yeah, you know, let's assume, and I tend to agree with you, yeah.
Listen, you still haven't told me in this video, 6 minutes long, so far you have yet to mention how a concentric exercise builds a muscle. Come on, man.
Assume that the eccentric or the negative is causing the muscle damage.
No, that's not just going to cause the muscle damage just because you're standing up, okay? It's the opposite direction.
Okay. But you're then jumping to the conclusion that the muscle...
Let me ask you this question. What is your first movement there? As you're exercising, what is your first movement? Your first movement in your exercise was a what? A concentric movement. So is not your first movement is not eccentric. But guess what? I do movements, exercises that my first movement is eccentric. The last movement is concentric. It would look like that. See what I mean? It's the reverse of what you're doing. You just can't visualize it. That's your problem.
Damage is driving the hypertrophy, which is not true.
It's driving muscle damage does not drive hypertrophy. Food does. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass on that myofibrillar.
The hypertrophy does not need muscular damage.
I never said it does. I said, man, I said to grow more myofibrillars, and get nuclei which synthesize protein, because without them, you can't synthesize any more protein. You can't push that MND size limit. See what I mean? Because the progenitor is beyond where it could donate any extra nuclei to that domain to support exactly what it says in science, to support further muscle growth and MND size limit. You can read it for yourself in PubMed, bro. I've done it in many videos. I don't know where you've been or what planet you're on, but you need to go read PubMed again, okay? Or look at my old videos.
The muscles are capable of sensing the mechanical loading.
They're what? You still haven't answered the question.
Without breaking, bursting, without injury, without necrosis, without oxidative stress, or whatever you want to say, yeah?
Look, man, are you going to answer the question or not? Are you going to waste my time here all day?
The mechanical load is sufficient. The muscle cells, I've not got the scientific paper memorized.
There's nothing scientific. You want to know what fucking drives hypertrophy? Food. Food drives hypertrophy, but none of you people are eating enough out there to drive that hypertrophy. But to further that hypertrophy, that domain, the MND size domain, you need the progenitor to donate its nuclei so it can synthesize protein so it can support further muscle growth, because the cell reaches an MND size limit.
So I might not exactly spell it out, but I'm sure you get the gist of it. The muscle cell itself can send a signal.
If you could just wave your arm up and down with a weight and your muscles would grow, that would be fantastic. Do you know how fat people get big? They don't wave weights around. You want to know how they get big? Eating. They eat a lot. They eat for hours and hours a day. That's why they get big and fat. See what I mean? That's not to say that they're not building some myofibrillar growth. They definitely are too, because the body needs to support that weight, all that fat. So the muscle's definitely going to grow because it's isometric. It's sitting on their body. That for sure, it's going to expand at some point. Yeah, it'll be forced to donate nuclei to support that domain because massive body weight. Yeah, but that's totally different. You're not doing that.
But it requires strengthening. It requires growth. It doesn't have to be injured.
It doesn't have to be injured to grow? The only reason why you want to injure the muscle fiber is to support further muscle growth. You want to get the myofibrillar. Look, here's the thing. Number one, you want to build more myofibrillars. So it's not just you're not just dependent on mass. And you get stronger when you build more myofibrillars, type 2 muscle fibers. Number two, the progenitor is able to donate its nuclei to support further muscle growth in that domain. That's the reason why you do it.
Okay. Hopefully that
You still haven't answered the question. How does eccentric exercise build muscle?
Simple attempt at an explanation is sufficient.
You see, this is the type of people I get. They're gonna debunk the question or the video or something, and they never get around to telling you. They say, yeah, I'm gonna tell you how eccentric exercise builds muscle. Eccentric exercise builds a muscle. And he never tells you, look, we're what? How many minutes are we through this video? 15 minutes, and he still hasn't said anything. And the video itself is 6 minutes. We're almost done 5 minutes in and nothing.
But yeah, the long story short, injury is not the only driver of hypertrophy.
We know that sarcoplasmic is a driver. It's artificial. We know that protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. That is a driver. Yes, food is a driver of it. All right. The driver of more muscle cells is muscle injury. Okay.
Likely, it's not even the prime driver of hypertrophy.
Man. Wow. I'm gonna tell you this one more time. You need these nuclei to support further muscle growth. Without them, you can't support further muscle growth. That's all. It's really simple.
Now, I would really like to say...
Now, are you going to tell us or not how eccentric exercise builds a fucking muscle, bro? Are you wasting my goddamn time all day here?
I can give you... I am 100% certain. I can give you a 100%... absolutist
Holy shit, man. Are you going to tell us or not?
explanation of this, but the science is lacking.
Where's your science? Where's your science that concentric exercises build muscle? Show me one fucking report or something. Prove to me that concentric builds a muscle. You haven't proven jack shit yet.
Nor I can say with absolute certainty what is driving hypertrophy.
Food drives hypertrophy, Jude. I don't care about that. I already know drives hypertrophy, food. But you have yet to tell us how concentric builds a muscle.
Okay, my friend. Give you a nice back shot.
It's a similar physique to Blaha. I don't know. It's very similar. Maybe you're doing a lot of how should I put it? Whatever, physique work, whatever. Man, you never answered the question.
Negative. Positive.
Okay, you're standing up doing. You did positive, negative. You didn't do a negative first. You did a positive, then a negative. You can call it whatever you want, but that's yeah.
Eccentric. Concentric.
No, it was concentric first, then eccentric, last when you did it. But okay, you still haven't told us how it builds a muscle.
Cheers, my dears.
That's it. You have not told us anything. This is what I'm talking about, guys. See, this is what you get every time. I swear to God. See you later.